Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Please stand and body your spirit as we sing our gathering music. There's a river flowing in my soul. It's number 1007 in your teal hymnal. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Hillsborough, UUCH, where we constantly strive to be an opening and welcome congregation to all who seek community and support. We don't worship in one specific way each week, and we don't require that we all adhere to one specific creed or common belief. Rather, we are a covenant community, committed to loving and supporting each other in our individual, lifelong quest for truth and meaning in matters of our personal faith. Welcome to you, old friends and you, young and old. Whether you are an essential part of our celebration today, whether today is your first or your 1000th Sunday in our midst, we are stronger because you are with us. We are one people of many beliefs, many origins, sexualities, and genders. We are all growing, all learning, all loved. Just as you are welcome here. Everyone, please turn around and welcome those sitting around you with a heartfelt good morning. My name is Jenny Kiles, and I'm the worship coordinator for today's service. As a lay-led congregation, there are many contributors, many behind the scenes who make our services possible, including Aviva, who has prepared the music. So we give a big thank you to everyone who helps make this a great place to gather, learn, and grow in spirit and love and community. I'd like to extend a very warm welcome to our speaker for this morning, our own AJ Mayhew. Anna Jean Mayhew has been telling stories since she learned to talk, some of them true. She has also had 2 novels published and a third is in progress. Welcome, AJ. We're always glad to have you. Each Sunday, we take up a monetary offering to support various worthy causes. For the month of January, our plate offering will be split among 3 animal advocacy organizations. Piedmont Farm Animal Refuge provides lifelong care to rescued farm animals, educates people about animal agriculture, and promotes veganism by offering knowledge, support, and community. The Blind Spot Animal Sanctuary provides lifelong loving care to neglected and homeless farm animals, placing those who are adoptable in forever homes. And Claws rescues wild animals that come to harm. Before we create our time for worship, I'd like to remind everyone that after the service, we offer a time for coffee and tea here in the sanctuary to get to know each other even more. If you're visiting today, please consider staying so we can get to know you a little better. Also, please take a moment to look at your order of service to see the announcements on the back. Now we can take a brief moment to share any other important announcements that are not listed in the order of service.
This actually is in the order of service, but since we have so many new people here, I just wanted to say that, and it's the beginning of the year, the Songbirds is our singing group, and we don't meet every week the way some choirs do. We only meet once a month, and anybody who loves to sing is welcome to join us, and then people practice on their own. I send out rehearsal tracks so you can practice on your own, and then the Sunday that we're going to sing, whenever that is, which in this case is going to be next Sunday, we gather at 10 o'clock for a run-through. So usually it's just one Sunday a month at 6:30 to 8, and then we gather on whatever date it is that we're going to sing, and we go through it again. So anybody is welcome, so just see me after the service if you'd like to be on our email list, and also you don't have to commit to coming every time. It's kind of a drop-in group, so I just want to extend that welcome.
Hi, I'm Lori. This might be too late. I really wish I had done this a few weeks ago. Anyway, as most of you know, I collect packaging material to be reused, and because I know somebody who has a home business and ship stuff, so they'll reuse it instead of it going to the landfill. And some of you may have collected a lot of this due to the holidays, and I hope you didn't throw it away yet. Anyway, brown shipping paper, bubble wrap, and air pockets. No styrofoam, no other packing materials. It must be clean. There's a container in the back, like a big garbage pail in the back hallway. And if you have a lot of it, just give it to me instead of putting it in that bin.
Hi, I'm Alicia, and I'm sort of organizing a ladies' night out, girls' night out, whatever we want to call that. And I sent an email out to all of you whose email addresses I have who fit that description, but there are a lot of new people here whose email addresses I don't have, so I wanted to make an announcement that you also are welcome. This is not like affiliated specifically with UCH, but just a thing that I'm trying to put together. There's an event called Broadway Rave, and it's like, if you like show tunes, it's like a sing-along. It's at Motorco. It's on Friday, January 17th, and I just thought if people are interested in going to that all together, we could carpool, we could hang out together, and just have a social time to do that. So if you're interested in that, I can send you the link to get tickets, and I can add you to the email chain so we can organize carpooling among those who are interested in going.
I'm Shona, and it's almost time for Secret Pals. So if you don't know what Secret Pal program is, please see me, but in short, it's just a way of connecting our youngest members to everybody else. And so if you are interested in having a secret pal, you can either see me after service or email me or call me. The information is in the emails.
On Sunday, January 19th, the MLK parade is at 2 p.m. downtown, and afterward, everyone is invited to our home, which is right downtown, to learn about Triangle Mutual Aid. Google it if you don't know what it is.
Is that in here?
Hi, I'm Kim, and just a quick note that I moved the lost and found pile from the back door to the cubbies right by the entrance. There's a couple of nice coats in there. I'm really, I hope the owners can find them again. And there's one item of jewelry that is kept in the office, so see myself or Amy if you're missing something, and we can try and identify the owner for that. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Aurora. I have slightly fewer RE-related announcements today. Number one, as of today, if your child attends RE, they should be safety trained to be a chalice lighter. So if there is always in the e-news a sign up for that. So if your child would like to be a chalice lighter, sign up in the e-news. Second of all, OWL registration is live. That is also in the e-news. If you are a member, please register by the 12th, because after that I'm going to just kind of open it up to the community, the wider community, and I want to make sure that people who are members get guaranteed spots. People who are not members and who are attending here, please also, you're welcome to sign up too for that. And if we have any spots open after the 12th, I will open it up. We'll put like an ad on Facebook or something like that. So please sign up so you get a spot. And then
Just a word about what Al is.
Oh, sorry, OWL. I think I've said this multiple times, but in case you are new, OWL is a comprehensive sexuality education program. This one is aimed at 4th through 6th grade, which focuses on changes having to do with puberty, physical health, healthy relationships, healthy body image, topics like that. It's good for kids. It will take place the entire service, and there is a mandatory meeting for parents on the first Sunday of it, which is the 19th. It starts the 19th. But all that will be here. And I had a third one, but I don't remember what it is, and I'll tell you later.
I'm Amy. I'm the program admin here. Aurora was probably going to mention that we're hiring. Is that it?
Yeah, we may have some options for that.
Okay. Anyway, real quick, thank you for your patience. There's a lot of announcements today. After service today, MINCO is meeting in the library. That's Ministry Council. Some folks from RE are going to set up the yurt in preparation for OWL, and we need people to help take down the tree. And I'm telling you this because MINCO is going to be busy, and a bunch of RE people are going to be busy. So we need other people to work on getting Christmas and holiday stuff packed up.
Are the boxes where we can get out?
In the shed.
Oh,
All the boxes are in the shed, and
Is the
I can
shed
tell
open?
you, anybody just ask me later, right after service, where specifically it's located.
Cool. So stick around and help out with that if you can. The e-news, our weekly newsletter. If you're not getting that, you definitely should, because all of this information and more is in there. There's a link on your order of service on the back, or you can talk to me to subscribe. Thank you.
Never ending. Hi, I'm G, and just real quickly, I just want to add that upcoming UCH event is on the 4th this month, which is the 26th. The 4th week, the 26th, is the Justice meeting.
Okay, if there are no more announcements, let's prepare ourselves for our time of reflection and celebration by reminding ourselves of who we are and why we gather. Oh, and don't forget to turn off your cell phone. We are Unitarian Universalists. Unitarian Universalism draws from our heritages of freedom, reason, hope, and courage, building on the foundation of love. Love is the power that holds us together and is at the center of our and is at the center of our shared values. Chalice lighting is Inscribing Our Pages with Hope by Reverend Dr. David Breeden. We tender this flame, opening the book, turning to a page yet to be written, opening a story yet to be told. May we fill this fresh page wisely. May we write a new story into being. May we together inscribe the page with hope.
We gather as a house of stories. As we learn those who have gone before, the way in front of us becomes clear. As we weave together our individual tales into a common story, our loneliness lessens, and the ever-present web of our oneness is revealed. As we listen deeply to each other's difficult stories with tenderness and trust, we descend into the longings and learnings, hopes and fears of the humanity we share. Beneath the wells from which we drink, there is a deeper well that feeds them all. Come, let us tell each other tales of our thirst. Let us drink from the stories that sustain us all.
Please stand in body or spirit as we sing our opening hymn, Come Sing a Song With Me, which is number 346 in your gray hymnal. Sharing joys and sorrows is a special ritual included in our Sunday services. The ritual happens in two parts. First, we take time to share out loud, and then we make time for silent acknowledgments of concerns and sorrows or joys or special milestones that have occurred since we last gathered. Both parts include dropping a stone into the vase on the altar, symbolizing a metaphoric communal collection of our experiences. By taking time to share, we strengthen the bonds between us. First, we take time to share aloud. Rest assured that we do not record what is shared aloud. Therefore, for those of us joining online, there will be a short break while folks speak. If you are joining us online and would like to share your joys or concerns with us in the room, please put it in the chat and tell us if you would like it read aloud, and we'll drop a stone for you. If you plan to share aloud, please take a moment to center yourself and collect your thoughts. We gently ask that what you share this morning be personal, heartfelt, and brief. things within the heart of this community, both spoken and unspoken, by remaining silent for a moment as we consider what has been shared and how we might respond. Let us close our sharing time by saying together, Amen and blessed be. Amen and blessed be. Now I'd like Aurora to tell us what the kids will be up to in RE today. That's religious education. Then we will bless our RE classes on their way by singing the words printed in the back of your gray hymnal.
Today, everyone's going to be learning about the history and importance of the UU chalice, and then a little bit of fire safety for those who want to be chalice lighters. And I remember the other thing, if you have not registered your child for RE, there is you can go, there's information on the back of the bulletin on how to do that. It's real important. Then we have things like allergy information, emergency contact info for kids. So please make sure you do that if your kid is going to do RE, you haven't done that yet. Thanks.
My water. It used to be you put a glass up here, it would fall. Yes, I am a storyteller, a spinner of yarn. I journal my fabulations, which fabulation includes a made-up story, a literary style, and at times I fit into that last definition. For 35 years, I camped in Upper Cove Creek in Pisgah Forest with a group of friends who met each other in the Unitarian congregation in Charlotte. I often snorkeled in a pool at the bottom of a small sliding rock in Davidson River. One afternoon, a yellow circlet on the bottom of the pool caught my eye. I dove for it, thinking it was most likely a brass fitting from someone's camping gear. I brought it to the surface, a gold ring. That evening around the campfire, I told my friends about it and pondered how it got where I found it. I said that perhaps a man on horseback crossed Davidson River in the spring, and his horse slipped on a rock. The man fell off into water deep and strong from the thaw on top of the mountain. He was on his way to his wedding with his bride's ring in his pocket. He died, unaware that the ring slid into the river. Others postulated about how the ring got there, including that they did get married, but it was a tumultuous relationship. And one day the bride, in a fit of peevishness, threw her wedding ring into the river. Then a campfire buddy said we were all wrong, that the bride was washing clothes in the river. At one point, she flicked soap off her hands, and the ring went into the water with the suds. We all laughed and declared her version the best. The next day, I stopped at the ranger station and said I had found the ring. that if anyone reported having lost it, to give them my phone number. I never got a call. A jeweler in Charlotte looked at it and said the marking inside 18CT, not 18K, might indicate it was made in Europe. And given how thin it was, it could be 100 years old. For a long time, I wore it on my right pinky, but eventually got Janine at Spiral Studios on Churton Street to make various silver and gold pieces into a bracelet. My mother's wedding band, Jean-Michel's ring from his former marriage that had to be cut off because of arthritic knuckles, my baby ring, broken silver earrings. I have loved wearing it and telling the story of how it came to be. The bracelet itself is a story made up of many memories, and I get comfort from it, a sense of my origins, my life. I'm in a writing group I joined in 1987 when I had published one short story and one poem. I was 47 and filled with family stories, those I had heard in my childhood and those I told after I had children of my own. One such family tale. Mama told me and my siblings that when she was a teenager, which would have been around 1930, she crossed the Ohio River on horseback from her family farm in Huntington, West Virginia. What she didn't count on that day was the drift southward, and it was after nightfall before she and her pony made it back home. Then there was the time she and her mother were rescued from their porch roof when the Ohio River flooded in 1937, when Mama was pregnant with my older sister. Whether such stories were true or apocryphal never mattered. When I was a teenager myself and training as a lifeguard on the Catawba River south of Charlotte, I often thought of Mama crossing the Ohio. Daddy had 2 sisters, and he told us that his father didn't let his teenage daughters go out with boys. So the girls climbed from their bedroom window down a tree and into the mischief they sought. Daddy's sister Ruby became an actress. She went from Kentucky to Hollywood, where she told us that she was an extra in Gone with the Wind, but that her scene was cut from the movie. I adored my Aunt Ruby, and to this day, it doesn't matter to me whether that was true. Stories told around the dining table or a campfire are fodder for writers, but they must be written down. Memories dwindle, the tellers of tales die, and their stories are lost. In the January issue of UU's Soul Matters, Brene Brown says, "When we deny our stories and disengage from tough emotions, they don't go away. Instead, they own us. Our job is not to deny the story, but to defy the ending, to rise strong, recognize our story, and rumble with the truth until we get to a place where we think, yes, this is what happened. This is my truth, and I will choose how the story ends." Excuse me, I have almost terminal dry mouth. In such a way, my first novel came to be. After it was published, several readers asked if it was true, and I adamantly denied that. But sooner or later, I admitted that it was highly autobiographical, as many debut novels are. One of the characters a 47-year-old woman who was the family's colored maid, as such women were called in the 1950s, is murdered in a small town in Georgia by white supremacists. Someone asked me if our family maid was killed on one of our trips, and I said, no, but that doesn't mean it didn't happen. Writing stories is a liberating experience. I grew up in the segregated South, saw the horrors of the Jim Crow era, and couldn't come to peace about those things until I wrote them out of my system. Like as a teenager on a family trip, we passed through a sundown town where signs greeted us. Negroes, be off the street before sunset. My stories always come from my characters. I'll hear their voices when I'm in bed in the quiet before sleep. So I keep a pad and pen on the bedside table to record their words, to honor them, to believe them. The opening sentence of my first novel introduces 3 characters: the first person narrator, her father, and her older sister. Another character who inserts herself in the last sentence of that paragraph turns out to be pivotal. There are about 37 characters in that novel, including 7 major, half a dozen secondary, and a host of passers-by. But a character who doesn't carry weight must be deleted. Removing a character is really hard. I will sigh and tuck them into a file I call cut stuff for use at a later date. My cut stuff file can also have details about setting, plot, or character, the 3-legged stool of story. There are many other facets like conflict and resolution, which Holly Luck Sullivan beautifully explained in our Christmas Eve gathering. As Holly said, a story is about how things that happen affect someone in pursuit of a difficult goal, and how that person changes internally as a result. Plot is what stops many a budding writer who will find herself asking, what am I going to write about? Do I know enough to write something? If I tell a life's truth, will I hurt someone? Am I good enough to write a story, let alone a novel? Sylvia Plath said, the worst enemy to creativity is self-doubt. My mentor of 30 plus years, Laurel Goldman, was very attuned to my self-doubt. I would be close to tears during a critique of something I had written and shake my head in despair. Laurel's finger would come up. AJ, you're doing it again. She wasn't chastising me. She was reminding me of my insecurity, my self-doubt. My incipient tears disappeared, and I inevitably left inspired. Flannery O'Connor, one of my favorite storytellers, is quoted as saying, "You shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you odd." I can't cite the source, but I fancy she was speaking to writers. As I dictated this into my phone, sitting in a nearly empty waiting room at UNC Hospital in Chapel Hill, while Jean Michel finished his latest treatment, I realized how odd I must appear, talking into my phone when it's clear I'm not on a call. In The Catholic Novelist in the Protestant South, O'Connor said, The reader of today has forgotten the cost of truth, even in fiction. I don't believe you can impose orthodoxy on fiction. I do believe that you can deepen your own orthodoxy by reading, if you are not afraid of strange visions. Our sense of what is contained in our faith is deepened less by abstractions than by an encounter with the mystery in what is human and often perverse. In perhaps her most famous story, A Good Man is Hard to Find, Flannery certainly gives us a sense, a taste of what is human and often perverse. I've shared from this pulpit before that I am agnostic. Early on in my life, until about the age of 25, I was a deep believer in God. Then I was sort of tricked into becoming advisor to the senior high group at the Unitarian Church in Charlotte, where I found my spiritual home. In my second novel, one of the prime narrators is a preacher named Ebenezer Polk. I discovered early on his great doubts about the all-powerful God he had always depended on and believed in since his days in seminary. Getting to know Eben and understanding his doubts was an enlightening process for me. I stuck with him until he began to understand why he had doubts and how he could continue helping people in spite of them, or even perhaps because of them. Just as I must forgive myself for self-doubt when I'm writing, Eben had to forgive himself for his uncertainties as a preacher. In A Prayer for Owen Meany, John Irving has a line about a character. Mr. Merrill was most appealing because he reassured us that doubt was the essence of faith and not faith's opposite. There are a multitude of spiritual components to writing. The joy when something gets published is certainly one of them. But even without publication, writing itself is revelatory. Several readers have said in varying ways, I don't know what I think until I see what I say. It ain't necessarily so is the title of an aria from the 1935 opera Porgy and Bess. It's about how the stories and ideas in the Bible might not be altogether true. The aria challenges accepted wisdom, considers possible alternatives, and unpicks the narratives that help us understand the world we inhabit and our place in it. Here are two stories. Jonah, he lived in a whale. Jonah, he lived in a whale. He made his home in that fish's abdomen. Jonah, he lived in a whale. David was small, but oh my. David was small, but oh my. He shot Goliath, who lay down and dieth. Little David was small, but oh my. It ain't necessarily so. When I heard a colleague read a revised chapter, I felt jealous. Not the envy that comes from a feeling of less than, but a little heartsick that I didn't have anything to return home to that I could work on with fervor. I made a note. I wish I had something ready for revision. Long pages I could go into with my whole hands, like kneading dough. It's hard for me to describe that after all these years, I'm still freaked out by the blank screen, and still hearing a whispered, "That's crap," from the demon on my shoulder. I have a clear picture of the little devil, represented by a tiny gargoyle I bought in France some years ago. She is at time my trusted muse, at time my greatest critic. Laurel told me to speak to her, to say, "Go away, I'm working, come back tonight and we'll duke it out." That works for me. In 2004, I tired of freelance work as a medical editor, told Jean-Michel about my hopes that I could turn to writing and teaching writing full time. He said that I should go for it, that we could live on his pension, that it would be tight, but we could make it. "Finish your novel," he said. "That's what's important." So I quit my freelance. In a year, I had a completed draft, but knew that final and uninterrupted editing was necessary. I sold my collection of Fiestaware and rented a house on the inland waterway on Emerald Isle in December, when that beach town was mostly deserted. Took my cat, my computer, and the little gargoyle I've talked about. 32 days later, I had a final draft. For boring reasons, I had no health insurance for almost a year and a half, a frightening time. But I would qualify for Medicare on January 1st, 2005. Dear friend Pat French visited me for the last few days of that retreat and was there on New Year's Eve when she said, looking at the clock, "AJ, it's 17 minutes to Medicare." We still laugh about that. My sister Susan was born when I was 10, and we joke that I changed her diapers and taught her to drive, but not simultaneously. She is one of my soulmates. I'm blessed to have several. When Susie was 16, she was in a horrific accident that racked our family, killing our brother and leaving Susie in a coma for 5 days. I sat by her bedside at Charlotte Memorial Hospital, willing her to wake. A nurse told me to talk to her, that she could possibly hear me. When she'd been around 9, I had read her a story by Oscar Wilde titled "The Nightingale and the Rose." She had me read it over and over, always crying at the end. It's a story that exposes love, showing that it can be neither full of beauty nor full of sorrow. So I took my worn copy of it to the hospital, sat down beside her bed, and began to read. When I finished, I looked up from the pages and saw a tear sliding down Susie's shockingly swollen face, though she didn't wake up for another 3 days. Such is the power of story. I collect quotes about writing and read them when I feel a need. Here are several quotes. First, you write for yourself, always to make sense of experience and the world around you. It's one of the ways I stay sane. Our stories, our books, our films are how we cope with the random trauma-inducing chaos of life as it plays. Bruce Springsteen, Born to Run. Quotes. And what, you ask, does writing teach us? First and foremost, it reminds us that we are alive and that it is a gift and a privilege, not a right. Ray Bradbury, Zen in the Art of Writing. Quotes. Writing isn't about making money, getting famous, getting dates, getting laid, or making friends. In the end, it's about enriching the lives of those who will read your work and enriching your own life as well. It's about getting up, getting well, and getting over. Getting happy, okay? Getting happy. Stephen King on writing a memoir of the craft. Stephen King? Yes. On Writing is the book I urge budding storytellers to read. It's not Dostoevsky or Wharton, Woolf or Hemingway, but it has pearls of wisdom, passion about storytelling, and refreshing humor that sustains the narrative. One of my favorite quotes by King is about his novel Thinner. He originally published it under the pseudonym Richard Bachman after his agent told him to slow down. Don't write a book a year. You're glutting your own market. But King couldn't stop and began to publish under the pen name. Then a young man in the Library of Congress recognized King's inimitable style. He said that, inimitable style, found the copyright pages, and outed him. When the book was reissued under King's name, he said that Bachman had died from cancer of the pseudonym. During 22 years of teaching writing, I learned something that I shared with the storytellers who gathered in our living room. If you're not willing to write badly, you won't write at all. Or as Anne Lamott says, in Bird by Bird, Some Instructions on Writing and Life, quotes, almost all good writing begins with terrible first efforts. You need to start somewhere. Start by getting something, anything, down on paper. What I've learned to do when I sit down to work on a shitty first draft is to quiet the voices in my head. The shitty first draft, while not a thing of beauty, is a miracle of victory over nothingness, inertia, bad self-esteem. Secret, but in chair. Thank you.
Thank you so much, AJ. You are indeed a wonderful storyteller. As I said earlier, our offertory today goes to animal advocacy groups. Please donate by placing cash or checks in the offering basket, and if by check, please write plate in the memo line. Or you can go to our website, uuchnc.org, and click the donate button. Or you can use the QR code printed in your order of service. We have lots of ways for you to get this. Lots of different ways to do it. Thank you for your generosity.
Memories, like the corners of my mind, misty watercolored memories of the way we were.
Please join me in offering a blessing for the offertory. The words are in your order of service. For the love that surrounds us this morning, for the beauty of today, and for the generous gifts just received, let us be truly grateful. Now please stand and body your spirit as we sing our closing hymn, We Are. It's number 1051 in your teal hymnal. Our closing words are To Speak, Listen to, and Care for Our Stories by Reverend Sherry Woodbury. May we have the courage to speak or write the stories within us that need to be told, the stories that make up our lives. May we listen with a loving mind and heart to the stories of others' lives, others here in this church and others in our wider community and world. Let us choose with care the stories that we teach to our children, remembering that all of our stories have power and that all of our stories are connected, for all of life is one. In the name of all that is sacred in these gathered hearts, may it be so. Amen. Now please join me as we extinguish our sacred UU flame. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Go in peace, my friends, and blessed be.
Blessed be.